Over 70% of what is passed through the news media is as a result of efforts by correspondents. When asked about their plight, their chairperson was brief and precise.
Many of them, for a long time, have been hired on phone, they are fired on phone, and they are faceless.
I'm sure there are some correspondents who are out there and they have been there for more than 10 years. And they have never been invited for even a single workshop.
This poor reporter is going to a place, he has gone by matatu or on foot, then he's waiting. Then it's dark. How does he go home? He doesn't have taxi allowance, he doesn't have, some of them don't even have medical cover.
I don't see why I should be in Busia. Then I make a call to Kisumu for somebody to take my story on phone. I should be having my laptop down in Funyula.
You might do a story which it is bought by the media house for a peanut of 2,000 shillings.
Ingolo Wakea is a filmmaker and he's asking,
are our stations giving enough time, to the local, to local film?
It's like Africa does not exist, and we are in Nairobi. So if Africa does not exist when we are in Nairobi through our televisions, where will they exist?
The film industry can never develop when you don't have, a vibrant local content on the, on the TV channels.
For most broadcasting houses, the tradition is that their main job is news, gathering and disseminating news. When it comes to production, that is better done outside the media houses.
The creative people are not in those stations. There are these freelance, independent filmmakers out here.
Many are aware of forced sexual relationships between managers and female journalists. We asked, is it happening?
I don't know what to say.
Sexual favors. In the media?
I assure you it is real. I was in the media, I know that it is real.
I've met several of my female colleagues who have complained a lot that our media is really rampant with sexual favors.
I have had issues to do with, sex for jobs.
Women journalists have sometimes been forced to give in to, sexual harassment so that they can get jobs. Yes.
You're so desperate, you want this job. So you say, it's just once, I'll do this, get it over with. But the sad thing is it's not once, it goes on and on, it becomes a cycle. And it's really sad.
It might not have happened to me, but it has happened to so many other people.
I know some girls who say they were harassed, they are being asked for favors to get a promotion, they are being asked for favors to get assigned better jobs, to be put on powerful desks.
If you are willing to deal, like go to bed with someone so that your story gets published, there are so many people who would be willing to do that for you. They can even write the story for you and only put the name. But there are those also who stand firm and say she wants to move up by marriage. But all in all, I can say the newsroom is it's a very tough place.
As a mother, you have to be always alert and work very hard to accomplish as a mother, to balance everything. As a mother, as a wife, and as a photojournalist.
The loss to the woman is huge. The consequences. So it's not something you can force somebody, oh, you must come out, because the consequences are personal. We don't share in her loss of job.
The police who threw Gishere out of the window that was on the 4th floor believe that he could not have survived the fall. They loaded him onto their truck and headed for the mortuary.
They wrote that I died because I committed suicide. I saw police and I jumped.
Since then, Gishere has been left paralyzed from his waist down.
It was believed that if you have to be a tough journalist, you must drink hard, you smoke hard. Some even go into drugs.
The first sub-editor was sacked because of alcoholism. The editor-in-chief bent over backwards, trying to help, giving excuses, oh, there's tension in the family, there's this, which is the same denial the addict is having. Ultimately, the fellow had to go because the rest were complaining.
And yet, nothing seems to be done in newsrooms to address this growing issue.
I would just walk into any of the big hotels, look for the notice board, where's the cocktail, and I walk in with one of my big stills cameras, and people are seeing the flash popping. They don't know there's no film. And I'm busy drinking free alcohol. And my access to that was a press card.
This has never happened since Kenya's independence. Hundreds of media practitioners took to the streets of the capital in a show of defiance to participate in a silent march. It was after the parliament passed a bill that compelled an editor to reveal a source if a case against a particular story is taken to a court of law.
The debating of this particular bill, we kind of had some time with some of the MPs in parliament. Some of them unfortunately took advantage of the situation and went into the trivia.
To base something that is going to affect a whole industry, and not just a whole industry, but a whole nation on personal experiences.
So to me, the bill is an attempt to give legal basis to a culture of authoritarian behavior that should be rejected.
Currently, the Books and Newspapers Act, the Defamation Act, the Official Secrets Act, the Preservation of Public Security Act, and the law on incitement limit the freedom of expression in Kenya.
The media occupy a special place in society. One is that no other enterprise is involved in the pursuit of truth.
And many of the issues that have been brought up point to people's anger with journalism that is not responsible, that ends up hurting freedom.
I would like to see more attention given to policy issues. I would like to see more attention given to the Millennium Development Goals. I'd like to see more attention given to issues that actually affect our bread and butter.
What I'm looking for is a situation where both the practitioners and the managers see this as an industry for development.
So that it becomes the driver to change, the driver to prosperity.
A media that is also able to end corruption among the journalists. A media that is also able to accord equal coverage, to men and women.
We are reporting for the good of the country and not a good for a political class or a political party or a political ideology.
The media is supposed to be very impartial, and when it allows itself to be corrupted, that means whatever they are going to give to the public is also corrupted.
They are declaring profits every year. The question that one would want to to ask, how much of it goes? They need to table how much of it goes. How much do they spend on their journalists?
As it said, a photo is worth 1,000 words. If it's worth 1,000 words, for sure, why not get recognized by what you put in front every day?
However difficult the situation may be, you still have to be guided by the professional ethics.
So that people who are hired are familiar, people who are hired know what is expected of them, people who are hired know their boundaries.
We need critical media, critical.
Independent, aggressive, and critical media are essential to an informed democracy. Otherwise, the profession will be doing a disservice to the population which depends on it for truth, fairness, and direction.